Hi students, good morning. We have learned about alcohols, we have learned about phenol. I hope all of you learned everything and be ready for the exam. Now we are going to learn about ethers. Okay, let us go through the ethers. So these ethers, what is ethers? How we are going to get ethers? Let us see. So just like how phenol is obtained, we understood that, and also we understood that how alcohol is obtained. Same way, if mm, in a the substitution of a hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon by alkoxy or aroxy group yield a class of compound known as ethers. Okay, so this is alkoxy group. Alkoxy means OCH3, alkyl group will be coming here. Okay. So in the case of alcohol, we have learned what we have learned. In the hydrocarbon, one of the H is replaced by whom? OH group. In the case of phenol, an aromatic ring with OH group we learned. So in this case, what we are learning, the hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon by an alkoxy, substitution of hydrogen atom by alkoxy. So if this is the group, this is alkoxy group. So OCH3 is substituted, then this corresponding molecule formed, that is called what? That is called an ether. In an aryl ring also, see if it is substituted by OCH3. Okay, this is an aryl aryloxy group. Okay, actually aryloxy group OC2H6 if we are taking, then this is aryloxy group. Then we are going to get an ether. Okay, so aryl ether is there, alkyl ether is there. Okay, so now let us see the classification of ethers. There are two classification of ethers. Ethers are classified as symmetric ethers and unsymmetrical ethers. Okay, so simple or symmetrical ethers or mixed or unsymmetrical ethers. What is the difference? We know that an a O is there, right? So in this side, both the side, if you have same alkyl group, here also CH3, here also CH3. Or if you are cutting in the middle here and here same group, if you are getting, then that is called a simple or symmetrical either. And so what is mixed? Mixed means if this side is CH3, the other side will be something else, CH2, CH3. So this side and in one carbon atom, here more than one carbon atom is there. So this is not symmetric about the oxygen atom. So it is called a unsymmetric or mixed ethers. Two different groups are coming here. That's why it is called a mixed ethers. Okay. Now let us see the naming. So how we will name it? Very easy naming is there. It is named as alkoxyalkane. Okay. So what is alkane? The parent chain which is having, that is, you know that it is having two CH3. OCH2, CH3. This is an example. Okay. So you have to identify the parent chain here. Okay. If you are identifying the parent chain, how you can identify? See which group. Here one group will be there. Here also one group, which is having the more number of carbon atoms. So that will be taken as the parent and that will be named as alkane. Okay. And this part, O and CH3 together is called alkoxy. It is just like a branch. So together, how can we name it? Alkoxyalkane. So this one, how we will name alkoxy? One carbon atom is there here, two carbon atoms. So this is taken as alkoxy part. So this is methoxy. Methoxy. And here two carbon atom is there. So it is methoxyethane. Understand? This is the naming. Now let us see more example here. Okay. So this, let us see from the beginning, from the first one, we can discuss the naming of ethers. So in this case, see CH3OCH3, this is a symmetric ether. It is very easy to name. Both the side you have one carbon atom. So alkoxy alkane is our naming. So since it is having same carbon atom, it is methoxymethane. Okay, methoxymethane. Because here also methane, here also only one carbon. So look at the next one, C2H5, C2H5. So this is also very simple because both the sides symmetrical, either it is both the side ethyl group here, right? Both the sides. So we can write ethoxy, alkoxy, ethoxy, ethane. Okay, that is the name. And here see one side CH3, the other side it is what? Yes, one side CH3 and the other side you have long chain. So 1, 2, 3. So the first position is the methoxy group coming. So you can write like this one, methoxy. And what is the long chain? 3 carbon atoms. So it is propane. Okay, in this way you can write. And look here, C6H5, that means a ring is coming. C6H5, O CH3. This is that. Okay. So how we will name it? This is the longest chain, right? Because carbon atom is here. So the same way we can name it methoxy. Methoxy. This is a branch and this part is benzene. So methoxybenzene. Okay. And the common name is very important. It is called anisole. It is called what? Anisole. Very important. Anisole is methoxybenzene. And then this side you can see C6H5O. Okay. So how we will write it if you are putting a brand? Okay. This O is connected with the CH2 6 times CH3. Okay, so this will go like CH2, CH2, CH2 like that. 6 times it will be going. And then it is connected with the what? CH2 6 times. And at the end, the CH3. So 7 carbon atom is here, right? CH2, CH2 here, 6 carbon atom. Here, 7 carbon atom is there. First position it is attached. So we can write this part. Here it is 7. So the phenyl group, this is having 6 carbon only. So this must be considered as the branch. So we will name it as phenoxy. Okay, if you are considering it as a branch, we will be naming it as phenoxy. Otherwise, we will name it as benzene. If it is included in the long chain or parent chain, it is named as benzene. So as a side chain, it is named as phenoxy. First position of phenoxy. How many carbon atoms? 7 carbon atoms. So heptane. Understand? So this one, see, first, second, third. Second position is the methoxy group, right? So we will write 2-methoxy. Second position, methoxy. And then 1, 2, 3 propane. Clear? And here also you have to see what we will take. One, how many? C6H5 is there, right? So here 1, 2, 3, 4, only carbon atom is there, and there is a branch also. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So which is the big one? This is having more number of carbon atom. So this will be the long chain or the parent chain, and this is considered as a side chain. So here in the side chain itself, there is a branch. Which position? 1, 2, 3, third position. What is the branch? Methyl. So 3-methyl. Okay. And what is it called? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is there. So butoxy. So 3-methyl butoxy and the long chain is benzene. Okay. Here you can see CH3, OCH2, CH2, OCH3. So 2-methoxy group is there. So which position is methoxy? First and second position you have methoxy group. Okay. If you are taking the parent chain, you have to take and check which position it is. Okay, don't count here. This is the parent chain having more number of carbon atoms. So first and second position you have methoxy group. So you have to name it 1, 2 dimethoxy. Both are methoxy only. CH3 here also OCH3. So 1,2-dimethoxy ethane. 2 ethane. This is the longest, so we will write ethane. And this is a cycloalkane. So upon cycloalkane is OC2H5 here. So this is considered as the branch, and this part full is considered as the parent chain. So in the parent chain you can. So here, if you are numbering, we will number like this, right? One methoxy group is here. So that is first position. This is second. Second position, you have 2 branch for the parent chain, not for this. So we will write second position is the ethoxy group. So we will write 2-ethoxy. Okay, in this particular case, we have to take it as 1 and this is second because more number of branches are there. So this is considered as the first position. Okay, so second position is OC2H5 attached. So it is 2-ethoxy. Then 1,1-dimethyl. This chain you have to name 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. This is the name. Okay, so if more number of branches coming, we will get priority for that. So what? This is only 1 branch. So second position is this. Okay. So in this way, we will name it. Now, let us see the preparation. We have the preparation method that is called a dehydration of alcohol. Already we have learned that if you do dehydration of alcohol, you are going to get what? An alkene. But how we will get an ether here? But for an alkene formation and ether formation, we have different condition to be used. Okay. So if you are using the condition, this condition, that is a very higher temperature, if you are using, what will happen? That will result in the formation of alkene, dehydration, and the product will be an alkene if you are using a very high temperature. Okay. But if you are using a less temperature than that, 413, that will result in the formation of which one? Ether. Okay, so the temperature is important. The rest all are same condition. So the temperature used should be low. If it is high, that will leads to the formation of alkene. Okay. Now, this is what is the mechanism of reaction is important. First, this acid protonate, this OH2 plus will form here. Okay, so the protonation of the alcohol, that is the step. So the formation of ether is actually nucleophilic bimolecular reaction. Means it is a single step reaction involving the attack of alcohol molecule on a protonated alcohol. So first protonated alcohol is there, plus protonated alcohol from acid, H plus will come here and it become protonated alcohol, and the attack of an alcohol, it involved the attack of an alcohol molecule on a protonated alcohol. So that will result in the formation of a SN2 mechanism, and it will move through SN2 mechanism and we will get ether. Okay. Actually, this method is suitable for the preparation of a primary alkyl halide. Okay, sorry, alkyl group. If primary alkyl groups are present, we will proceed through this. This is primary, right? So, what is the problem if the preparation of either the alkyl group should be unhindered? That is why if it is secondary or tertiary, more bulkier group will come there, right? And the temperature will be low. Okay, that is the alkyl group should be, it should be primary, and at the same time temperature should be low. Then only either formation is occurring. Otherwise, what will happen? It will result in the formation of alkene. So always we have to use primary and the temperature should be low. The reaction follow SN1 pathway when the alcohol is secondary and tertiary. No problem. What is the problem? SN1 pathway, it will follow. That means the formation of a carbocation should be there. Okay. But the dehydration of secondary and tertiary alcohol give corresponding ether is unsuccessful. It is following SN1 pathway, but actually there will be a competition between elimination and substitution reaction. So in that competition, who will win? Yes, the alkene formation will be giving priority, or the elimination reaction will take place, not the substitution reaction. So that is why we are always preferring primary alkyl group. And because if there is more hindrance, it will result in the formation of alkene and the temperature will be low. If you are using primary and secondary and tertiary, what will happen? Elimination compete over substitution. Substitution reaction is taking place, then only we are getting either, otherwise we will be getting alkene. Okay, so elimination will win here and alkene will form in the case of secondary or tertiary alcohol. Okay, now let us see a very important named synthesis that is called a Williamson synthesis. So how we will do this Williamson synthesis? Let's see. Okay, so okay, this is the reaction. So when an alkyl halide react with an alkoxide, okay, ONA, salt it is. When it is reacting with an alkoxide, what will happen? This X will be substituted by, OR group, and we will get ROR dash and NaX. This is the reaction. Okay, so actually this RX bond will be breaking here and it will be resulting in the formation of ROR dash. Okay, so better result are obtained in if the alkyl halide is here also. The result is better if you are using a alkyl halide which is primary. In the case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, again elimination compete over substitution, so it is not going to give us either. Okay, instead of that we will get alkene. If a tertiary alkyl halide is used, alkene is the only product. Understand? So always try to do the reaction with the primary. Secondary or tertiary, if you are using, elimination will take place. Okay, and now the next reaction is if you are using a tertiary, it will be following which reaction? I already explained, it will be following SN1 mechanism. So in case if the reaction is taking place, it will be following SN1 reaction. So that is not going to take place, Brilliant. So in the case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, what will happen? Elimination compete. Elimination is the reaction which is going to take place and the substitution won't take place. Okay, so here how in this case this is not at all a substitution, means there nucleophilic substitution will be taking place. So it has a capacity to act like a nucleophile and a base. Okay, but it will be better as a base because it is having rather bulkier group. If bulkier group is coming, it will be acting more as a base rather than a nucleophile. Okay, so what will happen if from this hydrogen, suppose there is one hydrogen here, I'm writing it as CH2H. From the beta position, this hydrogen will come here and the bromine will eliminate, and this Br minus will combine with this Na plus and form NaBr. Okay, and the eliminated H will combine with this and will form CH3OH. And after elimination, we will get this product, that is 2-methyl propene. So whenever we are using secondary and tertiary, both these cases, what we learned, elimination reaction will be taking place because the incoming nucleophile, it is acting as a base rather than a nucleophile because it is having bulkier group. Okay, now alkoxide are not only nucleophile but strong bases as well, so they react with alkyl halide leading to elimination reaction. Okay, phenol also converted to ether by this method. In this, phenol is used as phenoxide moiety. Okay, now let us see that reaction also. In this particular reaction, this is converted into the corresponding sodium phenoxide and it will be reacting with the RX. Okay, so the same reaction will be taking place. NaX will be eliminating and R will be joining here. So we will get a OR. Okay, aryl ether we will be getting. So next reaction, what is the next reaction? Okay, the CO bond in ethers are polar, thus ethers have a net dipole moment. This weak polarity of ether do not appropriate affect their bond. So this is about the physical properties. So we have learned about the preparation. Now we are going to learn about the physical properties. So actually, CO bond is actually a polar bond, but because of that dipole-dipole interaction is there, but that is not much effective. Actually, its boiling point is almost similar to that of the boiling point of the corresponding alkanes. Okay, but if you are comparing it with the alcohol, its boiling point is very less. The reason is alcohol is having the strong intermolecular force called hydrogen bond. In CO, the hydrogen bond is not there between the molecule. Okay, that is the reason. So, but we can see that like alcohol, this also will be soluble in water. So what is the reason? Because ether is having the tendency to form hydrogen bond with the water. So because of that, it will be soluble in water. Okay. Now, chemical reaction. The cleavage of CO bond in ethers are the least, ethers are the, that how it will take place. Okay, the cleavage of CO bond in ethers. Ethers are the least reactive of the functional group. So the cleavage of CO bond in ether take place under drastic conditions. Actually, ethers are least reactive, so drastic conditions are needed to react. Okay, so let us see one reaction, chemical reaction here. When ROR is reacting with HS, this bond will break, right? This bond will break and form RX. Actually, what is happening here? This bond is breaking and it will be forming RX and H will be coming here. So one alcohol and one alkyl halide we are getting ROH plus HS. The corresponding ROH again to react with the HS and we will get again RX plus H2O. These are the R. X will come here, OH and H will come in to form water. This is the reaction which is taking place with ethers and alkyl halides. Okay. So another reaction is this. In this also, actually here there are two possibility of CO bond breaking, right? If you see here also, it can break, here also break. So actually this bond is not going to break, only this bond is breaking because this is weaker than this. Why? Because here the CO, the oxygen atom is bonded. Here the oxygen atom is bonded with a sp3 hybridized carbon atom, but down on the ring, it is connected with an sp2 hybridized carbon atom. And not only that, whenever R is leaving, it is getting the corresponding ion, it is having, it will be, the double bond will be shifting into the ring so that the CO bond is having a partial double bond character here. So because of that, it is difficult to break a CO bond in the aryl group than OC bond in the CH3 group. Okay, so that is the reason why it will be breaking here and RX will form and OH will be forming. Okay. Next. So ethers which is having two different alkyl group also cleave in the, so two different alkyl group are there. One will be forming the alkyl halide and one will be forming the alcohol. And if you are thinking about the reactivity of alkyl halide, this is more reactive. HI is more reactive. Do you know what is the reason? Because I is having the bigger size, so that the bond length is more. Bond length is more because I is big. It will be very the force which is holding the lone pair, the pair of electron towards it will be less. Okay, because its size is more, so that the bond length will be less. Okay, so that is why it is easy to break this. That is why the order of reactivity is coming like this. Okay. When one of the alkyl group is a tertiary group, the halide formed is tertiary halide. Okay. Now let us see the order of the reactivity we have learned. See, here one is Tertiary also primary is there, right? But the alkyl halide formed will be tertiary because this group is tertiary. So tertiary is having the tendency to form because tertiary carbocation formed is more stable, right? So it will be forming tertiary halogenoalkane than the primary. Okay. It is because in step 2 of the reaction, the departure of, yes, that is what we explained already. When it is leaving, OCH3 group is leaving, what will happen? When it is leaving, it will result in the formation of carbocation that is more stable. If you cut on CH3O, it will be giving you a carbocation which is unstable. So that is why it is cutting along this to get a stable carbocation, and we will get corresponding halogenoalkane. Okay. This also I explained to you already. Next we can see next electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay, how it will undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. Let us see, the alkoxy group is there. So actually electrophilic substitution means electron loving a group will be coming there, a attacking reagent will be coming there. So this will be electron rich in the case of electrophilic substitution. If the ring is electron rich, it favors the reaction. So actually OR consists of lone pairs that will be shifting to the what benzene ring, so that there will be resonance structures many. And if you see the resonance structures, it will be concentrating the negative charge on the ortho position and also on the para position. Because it is concentrating the charge on ortho and para position, mostly the product will be at ortho and para position. And this is a ring activating group because the lone pair is giving to the ring, so it will activate the ring for electrophilic substitution reaction. Okay, now halogenation, bromine in ethanoic acid we are using for halogenation. So the corresponding bromine Br plus will be moving to para and ortho position. So para position is the major product always. And next is Friedel-Crafts acylation. Last classes we discussed that which is the reagent and all we know, and which is the catalyst we are using. If it is alkylation, alkyl halide we are using with the catalyst anhydrous aluminum chloride, and the CH3 plus group will be acting as the electrophile that will be moving to ortho and para position. Okay, and here also, because this here ortho position to bulkier group are coming very near to, that is why it is minor, and this is major product because they are far apart. Okay, now ethanoyl chloride we are ethanoyl chloride we are using. What is the reason ethanoyl chloride why we are using? Because this is not acylation, this is alkylation and this is acylation. So we will be using acyl chloride here. So CH3CO plus will be adding here at ortho and para position. Okay, nitration, nitrating mixture you are usually using. Last time we are using nitric acid on this. This time it is using nitrating mixture, sulfuric acid and nitric acid together. So the NO2 plus that will be forming, that will be moving towards ortho and para position. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.